Yep. All right then. So welcome everyone to the Zoom call. And today I'm going to be showing you how for the second week in a row using Neo, where I've been decided to give out signals in the VIP group. So that's people that make the paid membership towards Neo, which is 50 GBP for a month, 400 GBP for the year, or it will be 600 GBP for lifetime access. I would suggest more people lean towards lifetime access for Neo. And there's only 22 more spots left, I believe so. I have to double check that. It's between 23 or 22 more slots left for lifetime access. Those payments for lifetime access as well can be paid in 2 installments. So you'll get, you can pay 300 GBP one month and then the next 300 GBP the following month. The reason why is so it's obviously easier for traders to be able to get this product. And at the same time, I'm not trying to give away lifetime access to every single person because, of course, once you give away lifetime access, basically you're there forever, if that makes sense. And, if I give it to every single person, it's going to be a lot of responsibility myself to keep that promise forever, if you understand. Let's just be real with it. All right, cool. So, now what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to go over exactly why I was able to take the signal trades that I took that I give out to the VIPs. So this is what you get once you join Neo. And even if you join the 50 GBP a month package, you also get the whole Neo trading suite and you're going to get in the VIP chat and you'll also get this as well. Let me just go over to Telegram quickly. Boom, 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 boom. Hold on. Let's go here. Telegram. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so you should be able to see my Telegram chat right now. Can you see it as well? Just let me know. Should be able to see it. Cool. So this is one of my private accounts that I'm able to trade with the signal trades today. I don't take indexes on any management accounts I do because I've got some people have different firms. So they'll have different prop firms. There's like 1 or 2 that have different ones and stuff like that. And I can't take singular trades just for one said person because they want me to do that. Everything has to be all together. And the reason for that is because I'm able to work out how much drawdown I'm in, if I'm losing, or how much profits if I just trade the same thing on every single account. So it makes it very simple. Of course, I'm going to go over, and that's 100 as part of the trades, my friend. Part of the trades. That's the whole point, is the trades I took this week. And we'll even go over the trades I took last week. So where we are. So here you can see straight away, I just want people to know this is the chat. This is the trades I took last week and all the results from it. This is the signal chat where the trades were given as well. You can see here. Yeah. So I'll be telling people before to take any of the trades. And then obviously you've got the winners after at the end of the week or whatever it did produce. I'll put the pip count there. So we're 475 pips up in profit from last week so far. And then you can see even here, I said NZD sell entry now, and I put SPX 500. So entry, I explained why, according to Neo as well. And I put NAS 100 as well. And obviously these are the profits later on. I even, for people that were lifetime members of Neo before on MT4, I've told them that I'm going to be giving them signals as well up until the end of the year, just as a goodwill gesture for them purchasing Neo before on MT4, but they don't have it on TradingView. So I even told people here again, where is it? Look, here I told them, look, if you've not looked at the 3 indices, I posted, it's the 2 indices, sorry, my bad. I was looking at US 30 as well, but it didn't line up on Neo. But yeah, if you didn't look at the 2 indices, basically, I posted above, look for possible signals, basically now. This is all technically free money, I told them, and I gave out the trades here as well. So if you're an older member of Neo and you're in this group, I did give it out here as well for anyone to even be able to make the money for them to be able to purchase Neo, basically. So yeah, you get all of this as well. And at the same time as well, for anybody that's in the free Telegram group, you can just join this group. It's going to be in the description link below of this video. This is where I also give out gold trades. Gold this year has just been trending in super buys most of the time. But the last sell trade that gold did, I did give that one out. I'm trying to see if I did post it here. I don't think I posted it in the pin section, unfortunately. But the last gold sell, I did actually give out as well. That when gold started to sell from the top. And that's because the weekly time frame and the daily time frame were telling us on Neo that look for a sell. So I did actually post that in there as well. So, all right, cool. Let's go back over to this. So yeah, this is part of what you get. So let's go straight into the chart activity because I know some people will be bored of just hearing me talk for 2 minutes at first. All right, cool. So let's go over the trades here. I'm going to start with the indexes so we can just get straight into it. Boom. Okay, so when we go over to NAS 100 straight away, this is the first most important thing I looked at in Neo. Neo with the M&W indicator, let's switch this on properly so people don't think it's a different indicator. I'm going to switch on all of the labels. Yeah. And switch back on the zigzag. Yeah. So Neo with the M&W indicator, what it's actually helping you with here is it's helping you to identify when highs or lows are being created in the market. So obviously it's been labeled, it's been abbreviated, pardon me, for an understanding. So as I've always told people before, an M1, a high, or an M2 is always going to be a sell trade setup coming in, basically. A W1, a low, or a W2 is always going to be a buy trade coming in. Now, you don't just look at one time frame while you're doing this, because therefore you haven't got multi-time frame confluence in order for you to take a trade setup. So what do I mean by that? So you've got to imagine this, and this is very important for people to get this ideology of trading, because I think a lot of people struggle with this. Yeah. Okay, we'll just do this. Give me a second, because this is where people are really getting confused, and I think they're going a bit wild when they get Neo. Okay, you need to understand that the charts, yeah, are moving in each time frame in a different manner. We know the charts go up, down, up, down, up, down. Yeah, it does this. Let's just say it does that. Okay. Now, if you're just trading this one time frame, the 4 hour by itself, let's just say that's the chart I'm on right now. The chart could be doing this, and you could be looking for your sell trade opportunity, which obviously we're in here. Yeah, we're in our sell trade opportunity. But now, if you're not paying attention to different time frames, which obviously the 4 hour is my lowest time frame, the daily chart could be getting ready to do this, basically. Hold on. Let's do this so we can make it better for you. I'm going to change this. So the daily chart could actually be going up into a buy manner right now. So let's change the color for people. Boom. Okay. And then now we can also get the weekly chart. Yeah. That could also be doing this. You see? So imagine I'm trying to sell on the 4 hour chart, but the daily chart is going into a buy, because on Neo it's telling you that it's getting ready to buy based on, again, the W1, W2, high, low, M1, M2, whatever it be. But obviously be the Ws if it's a buy. And then, so remember, we've got the daily and the weekly chart that could be going into buys, but the 4 hours going into sells. This is how I don't trade like this anymore. And this is what Neo helps you with here. This is why it's such an amazing product for you. With the way I've got the chart layout at the moment, and one of the members has done a fantastic video as well, and that's pinned in the VIP area, in order for you to get your chart to look exactly how my chart looks right now. Yeah. Boom. What we can actually see over here now in front of our eyes, yeah, is I've got the 4 hour time frame, so I can see where the pattern is. That's what the last label is. So where the M's and W's are. And I've got the daily time frame over here. I've got the weekly time frame over here, and I've got the monthly time frame over here. Now, I'll show you after, hopefully I can remember, just to show you the variations of the pattern. In the last video, I did show that as well. I've actually made a grade A, grade B, grade C, grade D, and grade E variation of the patterns that you can get when it comes to this dashboard here, this table, and how obviously they're graded in terms of how strong technically the move can be. Obviously, some moves, even if they're a grade D, they could still be a strong move. It just depends on obviously market fluctuations. So yeah, so all we're looking at here is we want multi-time frame confluence. It's very important, people. And this is what a lot of people struggle with here. They're not getting the facts of this. I'm using 4 time frames to get into sync, and then I can find a buy or sell trade opportunity. It's very simple. So when it comes to NAS 100 over here, boom, yeah. Right now, yeah, let's just pay attention to the pattern, okay? So I don't want it to overcomplicate it for people. Let's just pay attention to the pattern first, which is the last label, which is the M's and W's. You can see here on the monthly time frame, we're in a sell because what did I say before? M's and highs are sells, W's and lows are buys. So in the monthly, we're in a sell pattern formation. If you go over to the monthly time frame, you'll see it says M1 because this isn't the multi time frame on this indicator. This is actually right now, it's a monthly chart on TradingView. It's just been minimized to only show the table. So here we're in an M pattern on a weekly time frame as well. Now in the daily, yes, we're in a W pattern for possible buys, but on the 4 hour, we was getting ready for an M2 to appear, which is obviously a sell. So I know that if the 4 hour, this is what I explained to the VIPs, if the 4 hour is about to create an M2, yeah, and then we're in a W2 on the daily, what happens straight away after a W2? You can see it already over here. Even here, let's do this one. There was a W2, and what came next after it? Can anybody say it in the chat? What came next? Okay, let me know in the chat, please. What came next? After this W2, what was the next pattern that appeared on Neo? Simple. Remember, I've told you before in these Zooms, it's always going to do, though there's sometimes where the candlesticks that are being read from the broker, the labels here can skip, and that's because of candlestick data. There's not really much I can do if the candlestick data from the brokerage that you're watching, I always use Oanda, but there could be gaps in the market, there could be indecision candles where there's no body. That's the only time it will look a bit funny when on Neo, but that doesn't happen every single day, but it can happen during the course of the week when you're trading. It's not really much I can do about that because you can use any indicator and you could still get that issue where candlestick data is being read incorrectly, not the indicator. But moving forward from that, every single time there will be an M1 after a W2. So what does that mean? That means the sell trade's coming in. So I clearly know that a sell trade's going to come in next. A sell label here is going to come in next on the daily time frame, which means now I've got multi-time frame confluence in the sell in the monthly time frame, in the weekly time frame, in the daily time frame is coming in, and then I've got one in a 4 hour chart. So what is going to happen with NAS 100 on the 4 hour chart, or what's going to happen in terms of a trend on NAS 100 going forward from this week right now? What's going to happen, guys and girls? Please put in the chat. What's going to happen if I've got that multi-time frame confluence? And what did you see me do when I gave the signal out? what did every single person do when I told them to do it? What did every person do? Literally. There you go. Like, I can't make it more easy than that. In terms of the first part of the knowledge, I really can't make it more easy than that. I kid you not. I've had someone that's not known anything about trading, yeah, and it'd be fantastic if she's actually in this Zoom call now. I'm not too sure if she is, yeah. Hold on one second, Mango. Hold on one second, but you can put your question there. Yeah, put your question there, but I want to explain this. She knew nothing about trading. She knew nothing about structure in the market, nothing about trend, so nothing about trading at all. I gave them Neo, and within the first 2 days of them just having Neo from purchasing it, yeah, and setting it all up for them, so they had it all set up, they're already picking out the same type of trades I will pick out, just because it's as simple as following what's in front of your eyes, literally. Now, I know what you're probably going to do back on this replay candle. So first and foremost, I'll tell you this. When you replay sometimes, the label will change. Yeah. Now, I want people to understand this as well, because this is very important as well. Like I said, I'm always transparent. The label is always the label that you can see in the live market. It doesn't matter if you replay it and it's changed to something different. It's not that it changed when it was live. It will always be what it is when it's live. Do you get what I'm saying? Now, the other timeframes will change as well. I want to say that that's the first thing, because I've seen that happen sometimes when I replay, the labels change, but it's the same label. It will always be the right label there. Anyone that's got Neo can obviously testify to that as well. It doesn't matter. Now, what do you want to see? What the other timeframes show in what sense is the question I'm going to ask you. Do you want to see if the dashboard changes? Because remember, I don't have candlesticks over here on the right. Or do you want to see, what do you want to see is what I'm asking you. The last label. Yeah, the labels change. The labels change. So even if we just see what I explained there, remember that you're just paying attention to if these labels do change. All right, cool. So look here, boom. So we go from the replay, we go from here, yeah. And pay attention to all four of the tables, yeah. And this is because I've got this, I told everyone, make sure you don't have this on single chart by a replay button, have it on all charts. And that means every chart here will be in a replay mode, not just one. It took me a while to get that. So look, boom, look, pay attention to all four of the dashboards, yeah? Boom, boom, boom. Can you see it changed from low on the 4 hour to high on the daily to M1, M1 and the M1 and M1 is not going to change because it's the weekly and monthly chart. It won't change until next week or next month. I always do my execution on the 4 hour. I'm not really too fussed about going down to the 15 minute and all of that at the moment. There's no need because I'm trying to show people that I'm not saying you can't because there's a guy in the group doing it already. There's even a few people doing it in the group already. I'm not saying you can't, but I always tell people there's no need. People keep asking me this question. I'm like, but I'm showing you profitable trades 2 weeks in a row now, almost every single day using the 4 hour for entry. So why do I have to go down to the 15 minute chart? I don't understand that. I don't understand it. Like literally, people always ask me, but can you do this? Can you do that? And I'm like, but I'm showing you. And what you said there, Andrew, is perfect because that's a huge issue I have. So you get people that try and do exactly what you just said there, going down to the lower time frame, and then they can't make profits because it's only been out for 30 days now, Neo. Yeah. But maybe in the 30 days, there's one or two people that haven't made money. But it's because they're trying to reinvent the wheel. If I've given you something and I've shown you it works, don't reinvent it until you've made some money. If you have the time to do it and the resources to say, I can invest into Neon for 3 months and it's not going to stress me out. I'm not going to need the money from trading or whatever your reasoning is, fair enough, do that. But if you're trying to actually, pay for your monthly subscription or whatever it is, because maybe that's where you are financially, and this is not like you, Andrew, this is at anybody, then follow exactly what I've told you. Don't reinvent the wheel. There's no need to do that. Like you're just doing that because you want to do it rather than actually just listening to what's being told. Do you understand? Like it's simple as day. Now let's go back to this now. Yeah, boom. So you can see here that the table has been changing. Okay, the daily and the 4 hours obviously going to change. The weekly and the monthly won't. So look at this. Boom. So there was even a trade on Monday for setup, I believe. Look, boom, there, look. So look at Monday's entry. So here is your quote unquote scalp trade. You can see it's an M2 on the 4 hour, high on the daily, which means sell, weekly, month. So right now you've got like a grade, I believe this is a grade C or D trade. Yeah, variation. That I give you the list when you join, it's in the group. So boom, you've got trades out there. So ideally where your take profit would be this last low here. Yeah, boom. So it's a 1.36 trade. Yeah. So this trade would have stopped you out before you managed to make money. So you made the first trade here at the week, it was a stop out. Yeah, cool. That's fantastic. That's okay. You can't win every single trade. You keep your risk in check. So you had your first one as a stop out. Okay. Now, for me, the reason why I didn't, I'm going to show you exactly why I didn't enter that trade there in a second. Boom, boom. But you can see, even though this is why I don't trade with a stop loss as well, guys and girls. Look, even though you've got stopped out of that trade, what exactly happened after? What happened after, guys and girls? If you got stopped out of this entry, this is why I don't put stop losses on my trade. I'd rather lower my risk and not trade with a stop loss because I'd rather make less from a trade. This is why you don't see me saying £50,000 made today because I lower my risk, don't trade with a stop loss. And what exactly happened there is what I explained to you. It hit take profit. You understand? Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so on the daily, for example, currently it's a new W pattern on the daily as it's in a high. You can still sell even if it's a W. Yes, you can. Yeah. It hit TP to grab the liquidity. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. You literally can do that, mate. You can do that. That's the whole point of it. Because look, let me do this so this makes more sense for people. Give me one more second. Sorry, people. One more second. This makes more sense because people are. This is what I said. It's like it's becoming confusing for some people, but I can't understand why because I put everything out for you guys and girls. I put it all out for you. All right, cool. Give me a sec. Give me 1 second. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. All right, cool. All right, cool. I'm gonna share my Telegram with you now. You can see my Telegram, okay? Can you see my Telegram? Yeah, everyone can see it, yeah? Now look, there's a variations of pattern list that I've pinned to the paid group that you get when you become a VIP member. And it shows you all of this. So let's go look at what that trade was on the Monday. So that trade on the Monday was M1, M2. It was a B grade trade. M1, M2. Boom, boom, boom. Yep, there you go. So it was a B grade trade setup, I believe so. No, it wasn't. It was a C grade because it was a high on the daily. So it was a C. No, it wasn't even a C. It was a D. There you go. So here, look, it had an M1 on the monthly, M1 on the weekly, a high on the daily, and a 4-hour M2. You see? And why was it a D grade trade? Because you saw what started to happen there. Do you understand? Because it was a D grade trade, obviously there's a smaller opportunity that price action would do the move. So you can see it was a weaker move, but it still did something. Do you understand? After the liquidity grab up to the high, it still sold down to the TP level. Do you understand? So it was a D grade trade. So this is why I put this list in here for you. You can see this list. So you can, so other members have printed off this list, etc. But I have advised them that obviously I'm going to amend it as time goes on to make all the data on the dashboard read what's there, so you can obviously have it here, so you can know specifically what's going on. Boom, boom, boom. You don't see the difference between a D grade and a C grade. Here's the difference. Look straight away. On the daily time frame, M1, M2. On the daily time frame here, yeah, on the D grade trade, M1, M2 or high. On the daily time frame, W1, W2 or low. That's a D grade trade. On the C grade trade, there is no low on the daily time frame. On the C grade trade, there's no high on the daily time frame. That's the difference between C grade and D grade trades. And then E grade says you can even enter on a W1 or an M1 on the 4-hour. This is why there's different grades of trades. You understand? If anyone else has got any other questions, please be ready to ask them. It's the strength. It's like it will always change the risk to reward, but let's be realistic with the question you're asking here. Let's be realistic. Let's be realistic, because I can already see where you're going with this. You would think that it's going to be a smaller risk to reward. You could get an E grade trade that still does a massive risk to reward. We cannot factor in market fluctuations from news. It's impossible. What you're supposed to do is trade with less risk. Do you understand? These are things you learn over years of trading. These are things that can't be taught because you have to see it. It's impossible to know exactly what the market's going to do. Do you get what I'm saying? So you lower your risk, yeah, according to what the grade of trade is. Do you understand? So if the grade is lower, so lowers from, obviously the highest is A, and you go lower, then you lower your risk. It doesn't mean, oh, it's only going to go to this TP level or not. I'm not going to tell you that, because it could go to the first high and be an A grade trade in reverse, because Trump took power in America and became the president. You know what I'm saying? Like, Neo's not going to tell you Trump is going to take power. You understand? He's going to take charge of America. He's not going to do that. Let's be real with what we're asking for here. You know what I mean? So let's. But obviously, if it's an A grade trade, yeah, you can do whatever you want. Risk is based on the trader. Do you understand? Capital is based on the trader as well. You see these questions you're asking, respect them. But a lot of them, nobody can teach you this. You need to do this yourself. There's no such thing as a set level of percentage you risk for trade, because you can trade anything. I always risk 1% when I'm trading my prop accounts. I really do that. I always risk up to 1%, and most times I come out of a trade with 0.5%, sometimes 0.25%. Simple. That's why I say I lower my risk, and that's how I trade with no stop loss. Let's just take it for what it is. Do you understand? Once you get into that mind frame, basically, it's what I said to a trader yesterday in the VIP. I said, once you're tired of losing, you will lower your risk. But if you're not lowering your risk, you're just not tired of losing yet. That's what the issue is. It's just that simple. You're just not tired of losing. Still probably got another year worth of losing it, you left. But when you're tired of losing, you lower your risk and you realize that what I'm saying is trade over time. Does it work more than it doesn't? All right, cool. So I'm trying to get back into this. So, because people obviously ask questions, I don't want to go off on a tangent here. There's no frequency of how often they really appear as well. I'm not going to say that. There's no point even worrying about that. Are they there or not? What is the setup that you see in front of you? Do you get it? So they can appear quite a lot. They can appear often. There's so many different trading pairs they can appear through. So it'd be impossible for me to tell you they appear every like week, every 2 weeks. You're always going to get a type of setup. Just trade the setup that comes through with a graded trade. Simple. That's the best thing to do. Like there's no point trying to stress yourself on that. And that's why I try and get to a lot of traders. It's just treat trading for what it is. It's trading. There's always risk. Too many people try to make it so calculated that it's going to do this, it's going to do that, then and it's going to go here, and you get what I'm saying. It's not. That's not how it works. It's not how it works because you've got to factor in market fluctuations. It's impossible. So just if the graded trade comes up, you take the trade. You put your risk in that you're comfortable winning or losing. You win, you take the trade. But the questions that really people need to ask is, how often do you win? That's the question that people really need to know, and you definitely win a hell of a lot more. This strategy here already, Book can tell you if he's still in here. I think he got about an 80% win rate. There's another guy called Tim that's had about 74% win rate. There's another person that's had about an 85% win rate trading Neo. Do you understand? So me just being generous, I'll tell you for a fact, this is definitely going to give you at least a 70% win rate, this indicator. And that is going with what's that? Great session, Big John. Oh my, oh, great, mate. Great, Omar. So I would say definitely Neo is going to give you at least a 70% win rate if you're going for a one. Let's do it fair. It will give you a probably even an 80 to 90% win rate if you're going for a one-to-one trade. Yeah, simple, 80 to 90. But if you're going for a 1-to-2, now it starts going down to probably about a 70% win rate. So I'd say around about 70. If you're going for a 1-to-3, now you're hitting around between the 70 and 60 range, literally. And remember, this is all depending on how you trade it. Obviously, if you swing trade, it's harder to get a 1-to-3. You know, more times you're going to get a 1-to-1, 1-to-1.5, 1-to-2, because obviously it's big markets, but you can still make profits. No problem. It's slower and it's easier to trade if you're somebody trying to learn. But obviously, if you scalp trade, you might have a lower win rate. So it might even be a 55% win rate, 60% win rate. Yeah. Overall, doesn't matter the grade of trade, but you're going to obviously get yourself some massive trades because once it forms that M2 or M whatever, the high or the low on the Neo, yeah, I'm telling you, there's going to be at one point, it's going to give you like a 10R trade, literally. And even from last week, there was USD, JPY, USD, and other pairs that were doing madnesses. They did like 15R from a 4-hour entry, people. Do you get it? And those were like grade C trades, is what I'm trying to tell you. Let's go back over here anyway. I would say for now, it's still kind of just based on, yeah, it just gives you the best win rate you can possibly get, which I've just explained it to you just there. Like you're going to go, it varies. So you're going between, regardless of the grade you trade, you're going to have at least 50 to a 80 to 90% win rate. Simple. Regardless of the grade, you're going to get it. Like, trust me. But you'll be fine. The main thing is, do you win more than you lose? Yeah. You just keep your risk in check. That's it. It's simple. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that you're trying to overcomplicate it, but I feel traders overcomplicate Forex too much because they're just looking for perfection. And the perfection is obviously they're like, yeah, if I'm able to do this, I'm able to do that, then I'm able to do this. And I'm like, if you just stop doing that, like literally just remove yourself from that and be like, did I win today or did I lose? You're gonna make money. Like I'm telling you, you'll make money, my friend. You'll make money. You'll actually make money. Like it's a joke because I just waited for it. So let's go back over to here because I don't want people to get bored and run away from the Zoom call. So yeah, boom. So obviously you can see now the dashboard's still moving. Look at it, boom. So we had an M2 entry here, close, boom, but obviously we're still on the W2 right here on the daily. Remember I told you. Now let's go over to the daily time frame so you can see not 11 days. Let's go over to the daily. Like, and when it comes to these questions of those things that you're asking me, win rate, this, does it change this, does it change that? Again, people worry. I'm saying it not to be dismissive. I don't want it, people to think it's dismissive. It's not giving me data sheets of all of this. No, I'm really not. I'm trying to say that too many people worry about the wrong thing. They're not worrying about it. It's just saying M1, M2, M3. But you know what I'm saying? They're not worried about that. That's what they need to worry about. They're worried about all this other stuff. And I'm like, don't do that. A simple place to put your stop loss is at the bottom or the high of the last label. Simple. It's a simple place. If you don't want to put it at one because it's too close, put it at the next one higher or the next one lower. Simple. And a simple place to always put your take profits is again, either at the labels are showing you their highs and lows. Do you get it? They're literally highs and lows. So the labels are showing you where all your take profits are. So if NAS 100 is going to sell again, where's it going to sell to? It can sell down to, let's get rid of this one here. If it's going to sell again, we can already see that a TP1's here and it pretty much already hit it. You see? So from today's candle that was selling down, it almost went to that TP1. And where's your TP2 going to be? You just keep it simple for yourself. Go to any single time frame, you can check. So if you want to make your TP smaller, go to a smaller time frame and look for where these labels are. That's where you can put your take profits, because all they're telling you, remember, it wouldn't have created the label there if the market didn't swing around, basically. You understand? So there's where you take profit. You want to make it really simple. You've got your stop loss, you've got your entry based on the table, you've got your take profit levels. What more? You just need to worry about when it appears with the setup, am I winning more than I'm losing? And I can tell you for sure, you're definitely going to win more than you lose. All right, cool. The trend candles, I'm not going to go into that just yet. I'm not going to go into that. I need to go into this because the trend candles are not even finished yet. So there's no point me going into the trend candles because it's not finished. I still might adjust the way it works. So I can tell you something now, and then by the time I release it, it's completely different. And people are like, well, that's not the same. It's just pointless. I'll show you them, but I'm not going to go into how it works because, again, I haven't finished updating it yet. Do you know what I mean? So, all right, cool. So look here on the daily time frame, where are we? We're in the W2. So what comes after the W2, like I told you, look, W2 and M1 is going to come into play. So this is why I got an earlier entry on NAS, even though it said W2 here. And this is why I explained in the group as well. That it was that simple. So obviously today is today, and we're obviously fluctuating between the cells. So you can see the W2 locked in. So now this one is going to appear with an M1 now on here. And if this one appears with an M1, we could see a continuation of this cell, for at least for another day. So let's just say closed here. We should see another day of a little bit more, whether it does a big move or a small move, it could just go to these lows down here. Boom. So you see here, this is where there was candlestick data somewhere where it skipped through because there's supposed to be a label here. See, it can happen, people. It all depends on, there's probably candlestick data somewhere that's been an indecisive candle somewhere that's caused that. But it's okay. If you pay attention to the higher time frames, I'm telling you, you won't have an issue. And this is why I say this. Even if you pay attention to, I'll say if you pay attention to 4 time frames, you'll be fine. This is why I don't trade it on the individual time frame. It was Neil that actually let me know that, wow, indicators are doing this as a whole. You can go to Smart Money Concepts, Lux Algo, and there's going to be not to put down their indicator or anything, it's not even their fault. There's going to be data that you're getting from the market that will be incorrect. And that's what's going to make your obviously your indicator can only work with the data that's being shown. But you're still fine, people. I tell you that. I kid you not, you're still all right. So now, boom, this is what you can see here on NAS 100. You get it, yeah? You can see, so obviously we know what M1 is going to lock into place and it can still sell down for at least the next day. All right, let me break this down a bit more. Hold on a sec. I don't want people to jump with this. All right, cool. So now the next important thing for me to take this trade. So I want, I'm not too sure if you're there anymore. Is it SAG? I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. It was SAG, the trader. If you're still here, look. So remember, I had M1 here on the monthly, M1 on the weekly, and then obviously I explained why I entered, even though this was W2 here. And obviously on the 4 hours, it was M2, sorry, it was M2. Yeah, cool. Now, this is the main reason I looked at this trade setup now rather than any other time. Why did I do that? First and foremost, this W2 had not been created on the Monday. That's why I never entered on the Monday, even though there was the sell entry. Pay attention to that. Remember, we went through the sell and it was a loss. Oh, Neo just loses. No, if you actually pay attention to exactly what Neo's showing you, you'll be fine. On a smaller time frame, yes, that was a nice scalp trade. One of the traders that literally got Neo over the weekend literally took that trade set up and was like, well, John, look, it won. Yes, on the smaller time frames, that loss trade was still good. You know, no problem. But for me, I didn't trade on the Monday. Why? Because the W2 had not been printed yet on the daily time frame. So all I had to do is wait for the W because I knew it was coming. And if the W2 comes in, what can happen? We can get a bigger buy. So why am I going to enter a sell when I know that hasn't happened and a buy pullback is going to happen? Because Neo's told me. So I didn't. I waited for it to form. When it formed, I went to the next one here and waited. Then I started to wait for the next time frame to again be in the 4 hour to create its next M4 and M2, sorry, set up. And that happened today. And this is why we start to see the sell trade today. You see it? because I know that if it's done its W2, the only next thing to come, again, I keep telling you, is the M1. So when this candle closes today, we're going to see what? An M1. You understand? It's pulling back. You understand, guys and girls, yeah? That's how simple it is. That's why I avoided that loss on Monday, because I knew the W2 had not been printed on the daily time frame. Regardless of what the variations of the grade say, why am I going to know that W2 is going to possibly do a buy pullback on a daily and I'm going to enter a sell? This is why I said multi-time frame confluence is great. Neil shows you this. It's not even a struggle. Do you understand? It's just about sitting down and actually mastering it. What trigger to make you sell? I already gone through it in the Zoom call, mate. The trigger that made me sell is this. I already gone through it. It was the M2 on the 4 hour. This, yeah, right here. You see, it says M2. Yeah. So if this has created an M2, which we know the M2s and the W2s are always the bigger sells and the smaller, they're always the bigger sells and the bigger buys. If it creates an M2 on the 4 hour, that's going to show you that it's going to be creating an M2 on a higher time frame later on. So if we go to the 8 hour chart, let's just see that quickly. 8 hour chart, M1 is formed on the 8 hour chart at that same time. Yeah. If we go to a 12 hour chart, let's see where that is. So we can see here, obviously on the 12 hour chart, it starts to change. Obviously, it's 12 hours, different variations. We can see the M2 had formed there, but now on this one here, we're getting into this being the, where is it? Boom, M2. So the next one will be the W1. So obviously this one it's not too big for me. It's telling me there could be a little bit of a pullback, but I've seen that. But let's go down to a 2 hour chart. And on the 2 hour chart, we know we've got a W2 here that formed at 4 in the morning. And then boom, the next one that was going to form on the 2 hour chart was the M1. Do you understand? My main thing that made me sell, so it doesn't become confusing for you, regardless of everything, is when I've looked at it, I could see straight away. So I went to a 3 hour time frame. That's what I went to. There we go. I went to a 3 hour time frame. On the 3 hour time frame, before I gave that signal at like 4 in the morning, is it transit time? Yes, 7 in the morning here is where you got this one, but I gave it at like 4 in the morning. I could see that the M1 was going to come next. So if the M1 is going to come next, then obviously the M2 is lining up, which we could see. Boom, it hit the low and there. M2 was lining up on the 4 hour chart. Do you understand? So I knew. So the M1 had hit on the 3 hour and the M2 was about to form on the 4 hour. So that let me know that as soon as the M2 is coming into play, get ready because it's going to happen. And I knew that. That's how I did it, because obviously I'm at a higher level of understanding Neo because I created it. You understand? But you can see what I'm doing. The same way I was able to understand that the daily is about to create an M1 is the same way I understood that the 4 hour is about to create an M2. But even if you just waited for the M2, which you can see here, you still would have got the same entry I gave out as the signal. The only reason why is because I was trying to sleep. Obviously, this was 4 a.m. in the morning UK time. It's like 4 a.m. You understand? That's why I've entered a bit earlier. But you would have been fine if you just waited. Do you understand? The funny thing is I didn't even sleep anyway until like the afternoon. So I could have still just waited for it to close and enter the trade. But this was my trigger here. Okay, Andrew, it was the M2 on the 4 hour. I'm just giving you the idea. Once you get better and better with Neo, you're going to be able to do that. But even if you just waited, you'll be fine. So this is why I was able to give the signal. Remember, I explained because I know if it creates an M2 here, the daily is more than likely going to create an M1, a high or a low. Simple. So all of them will be in line, all these 4 tables. Okay, so that's 100. And it's the same thing when you come over to SPX 500. It's the same thing. US, oops, what's going on? That made no sense. Where's SPX going? Go here, give me a second. As it goes. It is very simple, guys and girls. I kid you not. Like, I'm really not just trying to say that to be like in a condescending way. Do you understand? I'm really trying to tell you that it is very simple. If you just literally let the table line up, you'll be fine. It's the same thing. Look, M2 here. So if the M2 formed on the 4 hour, this one here is on W1 now on the daily. So what's the next thing that's going to happen on the daily chart? It's going to create a high because it's the middle of the W. And that's also going to be a possible sell on the daily chart. Do you understand? So it's the same thing. It's literally, instead of it being an M1 like NAS 100, it's gonna, the next thing it's gonna create on the daily chart is a high, that last label. That's what it's gonna do. So I knew that, boom, then all four of the time frames are gonna be in a cell, just like here, you see the monthly is in a high. It's not in an 8M1 on this pair. The weekly is in this here, boom, M2. You see? But it's all basically telling you sell. It's all telling you buy. It's that simple. Yeah, okay. You're asking questions I probably already answered before, but I'll go over it again. Hear this again, people. Make sure you're paying attention to this. I know I talk a lot, and I'm sorry if that confuses some people, but it's because people ask me questions. I try to explain it, and if I was just to be like, yeah, it just equals so, you're gonna miss something. M1 high, M2 equals sell. W1 low, W2 equals buy. Simple. Keep that in mind. It literally means that. Yeah, it literally means that. That's why you have the variation of the trades. Because what people are not realizing, even if it's in the middle of an MOW on a monthly time frame, that's going to be a big sell or buy on a daily chart, on a 4-hour chart. Do you get it? This is why you can enter on the middle. So even on a daily, if you're in the middle of a pattern on a daily, that could be like a 20, 30 pip scalp trade on a 1-hour chart. Do you understand? Or on a 30-minute chart, 15-minute chart. Does everybody understand what I mean by that? So obviously, look at what I'm doing. I'm doing that from a monthly, weekly, daily, 4-hour perspective. So if I'm in the middle of a monthly MOW, that could still be a 200, 300 pip trade on a 4-hour time frame. Do you see it? Perfect. So why can't I trade it? Of course I can if the setup comes up. Do you get my point? All right. So the next thing now we have here, that's pattern detection. The next thing I'd say is very important is the bars since that last higher high or lower low. Now, because I couldn't, I would have specifically made it time frame dependent, but you can't because it would be it's a bit awkward when it tries to read multi-time frame. Sometimes it's like you can get lucky with how it can be coded or it's just not. So, and I've noticed I've had a lot of issues with trying to do a multi-time frame coding with the M&W indicator. So to not do that, I've just separated them. That's why we have 4 windows. So everything had to be called high, high. Just think about it. Bars since last high or low, I might change that. It's basically been, it's swing high, swing low. So I might change it to SHSL. I might change it to that in future to make it easier for people to understand. This is since the last swing high, the last swing low. So since the last swing high in the monthly time frame, it happened 1 bar ago. So it happened literally just one. So it's brand new. It's a fresh trade, fresh for the picking. The weekly also happened 1 bar ago. So this is telling you a higher high had been made on the monthly time frame. It's telling you a lower high has been made on the weekly time frame. So what are we trying to do in order to see a trade setup here? We're trying to catch a continuation. Do you see it, guys and girls? Look. So it's told you, where is it? The higher high that actually happened was here. Boom. On the monthly. It was over here. Yeah. And this impulse was Trump coming into power. That's the only reason it went all the way up. Yeah. So the higher high had been locked in on the monthly. This is a monthly lock-in of a higher high. Then this one here, it had to correct itself. So this was now a lower high. Boom. That happened here on a weekly. Yeah. Doesn't matter. Even if you look at it, you can see these gray things are showing you a weekly. It's a swing. It's basically a high being formed and low. So it's told you from before that we've had a high form on the monthly. We've had a low for a lower high basically form on the weekly. Don't worry about the impulse. This can still happen, but because you can see, even though that happened, this impulse, and it broke that high, guess what? Price is still selling now. So I'm saying, pay. This is what Neo's doing for you. It's reconfiguring everything for you to make it easier. So a high had been formed on the monthly, a high had been formed on the weekly, a lower high, as you can see the cell here. And then what you're going to do, you're just going to continue the entry of that pattern when it comes into play, which is right over here. You see? Right over here. And these are the best trades. The 2 highest time frames, when they match up with your buy or sell setups, yeah. So they're both saying the same thing, which is both a sell setup, yeah. And you get 1 bar Yeah. Obviously, the lower you go, it's a bit harder to get 1 bar because obviously 1 month is 1 month. So it can stay on 1 bar for a while. That's why I prefer to trade higher time frames. But if you go lower, yeah, and you scalp, this might be 2 bars and this one could be 3 bars. But the more closer it is to the lowest number, the bars ago, the better the trend can be for you. The structure, not the trend, the better the structure of that trade setup can be for you. This is what's happening here. You've got, yeah, pattern detection, which is the M's and W's. You've got structure detection and how long ago it happened. Yeah. So you can see how fresh that trade is. This new pattern that's happened, that's formed structure. Yeah. This is why I looked for this trade setup now, even though we can see on the EMAs that price action clearly is in a monthly buy trend, a weekly buy trend, a daily buy trend, and a 4-hour bearish trend. Fair enough, yeah. So we obviously see that it's stronger compared to the price is in a buy trend right now. So don't try to make a million off this trade unless you've managed to catch the ultimate reversal. Fair enough. But we can see that the pattern is becoming bearish. The structure is fresh and becoming bearish. So we've got at least 2 out of the 3 confluences which Neo can provide for you, telling us start to look for your sell trade set up now. Do you understand? This is what I do. Do you get it? So I wait for these 2, my 2 highest time frames, to have 1 bar ago because I'm trading monthly, weekly, daily, 4-hour. So it's easier to see 1-1, which is very easy for the brain to comprehend. If it says 1 on both of these 2, a trade is getting ready to set up. If the pattern makes sense, get ready to take the trade. Do you get it? Yeah? That's what it is. So what I just said to you there, do you understand that now? Moving on to the next point is why I looked for US 30 now. Because I'll get some traders that are just like, oh, just because it all says sell, sell now. Just because it says buy, just buy now. Yes, because even if the pattern is still bullish here, yeah, the EMAs is the last bit of data that I'm talking about. I still need to break down the data on the EMAs because again, I pay attention to the weekly EMA most times, and it's what I've explained, yeah, before in the VIP chat. But the EMAs, but it's there to help you. It's there to help you to see. So even though it's still bullish, and remember what I told you, I'm not expecting this to sell to Hades because we can see that the EMAs are telling you, right, mate, this is bullish. So at some point, it might only go to here and then reverse. Do you understand? It's bullish on the monthly and the weekly and the daily. Do you understand? But if the daily, if imagine you're in this trade and then the daily goes bearish, oh, it could be trending more because now the weekly can go bearish and then the monthly. Do you get it? But fresh meat, exactly what Book said. Fresh meat. This is what I look for. So this is what I call a day trade because the EMAs are not in trend. It's what I call a day trade. But the fresh meat was there. The pattern was perfect for us to take. You know, and the structure was perfect for us to take. Fresh meat. It was fresh. Dinner was fresh on the table. This is why I told everyone, now we're starting to look for the indices cells. Do you understand? I keep it simple like that. So now when we go over to NZDCAD, yeah, this was the next signal that I gave. I'm just trying to give this zoom so everyone can see that it's not just me fabricating what Neo can do and why you should be using Neo. Like I'm telling you, this is the best indicator you can use regardless of how you trade. You can trade smart money concepts, add this to what you're doing. I'm telling you, you're going to make way more money. You can trade another whole mentor strategy and add Neo, and you're probably going to be seeing, whoa, this is exactly how I can trade this strategy that I like. So you can trade Fibonacci, you can trade harmonics, you can trade all of this stuff. But if you pay attention to, I guarantee you, when price gets to the sweet spot you're looking at on whatever you trade, Neo's going to start to line up, and then you're going to be like, oh, bingo, you get it. Now I can always see the trade I was trying to find. You can trade order block, you can trade supply demand. I guarantee you, Neo's going to line up, and then boom, do you understand? You're going to start to see better trade. I can switch on Lux Algo smart money concepts now, and you'll see that a lot of these M2 entries or W2 bounce off of supply demand zones. Do you understand? And you're going to be like, oh, wow, okay, that makes sense. So now you know the right supply demands to take is what I'm trying to tell you. This is a massive trading suite. So what am I going to do here? Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so NZDCAD, same thing. So this one, the meat, like, you know, I brought all you guys and girls in. So we ate half of the ox. We ate half of the ox. We ate half of it last week. So now I've told us to re-enter. So because you know, I put the ox in the fridge. I put the meat in the fridge. You know, some people were still hungry. I called them up and I said, yeah, come out, man. come, let's eat this food. Let's eat this food. So this one is 2 bars ago on the weekly now. So you see the structure trend is getting smaller now. Do you understand? Yeah, that's no way. That's oxtail. Don't worry. Do you understand? So now you can see that, boom, the trend on the structure, not trend. I got to make sure I say it right. Yeah, it's still oily. It's very oily right now. These trades are very, very oily. They're very oily. So you can see this is how I called out the NZDCAD one. Again, Andrew, if you're still here, what do you see? It says M2. And why did I know M2 was coming next? Because the low and M1 formed there. So this is why I gave out the signal. So if you are here, Andrew, you can see NZDCAD, M2. And this one's even better because look, we've got M2 on the monthly, M1 on the weekly, M1 on the daily now. This is why I took NZDCAD sell. And I think this is actually going to be a very good sell because using the support and resistance, I won't go into that in this video now because obviously I don't want to make it too confusing for people. I want people to really understand this table first, and I can always do another Zoom about the support and resistance. But look, straight away, but the support and resistance on Neo, which is another amazing thing that helps you, yeah, boom, on the monthly, it's telling us that it's a monthly sell that could be happening now. So yeah, it could be a big push, this trade. Yeah, I hope it goes to TP as well, man. I hope it does this one. Because like I said, on the monthly, the support and resistance is telling us to sell. The support and resistance is this indicator here, by the way, people. This indicator is amazing if you use it on the daily time frame. Don't use it on the anything lower than the daily. I'll tell you that for sure. When you leave it on the daily time frame, when this indicator appears, yeah, you get a good trade setup most times. You get it. So this is when we even entered last week. You see here? And all the arrows previously show you where it did appear as well. So you can even see where it did appear and where it didn't. And even here, so let's check this one first. Last week, you can see why I entered this trade for a sell as well. Look, boom. So we had this one here. And this is one, US 30 and NASA and SPX don't have one of these at the moment. So that's another reason why it's a bit more, for me, it's a riskier trade. But at the top, it did have one. Do you understand? But where we're entering now, it doesn't. So it's still kind of floating support and resistance wise with Neo. But look here, boom. Monday, you had the arrow appear, and this box was here. So as soon as this arrow appeared on the Monday, which happens on the Monday, even if you just randomly got in here and put your stop loss at the top, you would have made money last week, you see, based on everything on this dashboard from last week, which this would have just been, everything was pretty much the same when we entered, apart from this was 1 bar ago on the weekly chart. And then now look, boom, it's sold. And then what did I do? I re-entered again because on the daily, we're in the M1. And again, like I've explained to you before, and again, we still obviously have this box here. See, right there. Very, very, very oily that trade was still. Like the indicator is crazy, people. I'm telling you. You know, I honestly just gonna say it now, and I haven't even finished with it yet. By the time I finish with this by probably even mid next year, I'm telling you, it's gonna be crazy. It's crazy. Like if you're not in on this product right now, I don't know what you're doing because this product is crazy. It's just crazy. Like there's so many times I'm just talking on the phone to my partner, and I'm just like, babes, I don't think you understand what I'm doing right now. This indicator is just crazy. It's just crazy. This is bad. I'm even confused when I'm talking to the coding team and all of that, and then it comes back with a product from the things I've said, and I'm like, whoa, this is crazy, people. Yeah, that's what I said. I don't want to break it down too much, but these are the free trades here. I'll go into the trend candles in a bit. I want to make sure everybody understands the M and the W's. This idea. So you get it. But look now, this is why I entered this trade, yeah, on my prop accounts, people, and why I specifically wait a week or two to enter trades. So anyone that manage their accounts and they're not in the VIP group, this is why. Look at everything here. Bearish on the daily EMA trend, bearish on the bearish on the dailies, bearish on the 4 hour, bearish on the weekly, bearish on the monthly. 1 bar ago on the monthly, 2 bars ago on the weekly. Remember, we sold this last week as well when it was 1 bar ago. Do you get it? This is what I'm doing. Do you understand? So I want everything to be there. The only one I would say, okay, it doesn't have to be is if the monthly is not in the same trend as the trade I'm taking. That's still, these rest of these are okay, but the fact that it had all 4, it was too good not to take this trade setup. And the fact that the trend only happened it was still fresh, very oily trade from compared to the bars ago and the monthly and the weekly. I had to re-enter this trade. Do you understand? Remember, we could have held this from last week, literally. What is Neo showing for gold? Okay, I'll go over to gold. Yeah, this was probably a C or D grade trade. So you can literally go to the list and match it up. But this was definitely a C or D grade trade, Mango. Let's go to gold quickly and then I'll show you the trend candles after. If you've got any other questions on Neo, please ask them now because you could even help out someone else if you've got any questions. I'm talking about questions on how to use it more than anything. So gold gave you this indication of a buy here. Look at the support and resistance. This is what I taught the VIPs. I'm telling you, I'm doing madness for the VIPs as well. Not only are you getting this, I'm teaching you what everything is doing, what we have to use. So when these daily zones appear, these support and resistance, I've already told people, don't even bother looking for a scalp trade or anything if one of these zones. So even if you scalp on Neo, even if you day trade or swing trade, if you wait for one of these daily zones to appear, there's so much more of a higher percentage chance that you're going to win that trade. As you can see here, gold would have, this arrow appeared whilst it was buying, not after. When this was going to buy, this is when it appeared. And what happens here on the daily? Look, this is a W2. So imagine if you were trading the daily time frame, the 4-hour time frame, the 1-hour time frame, and let's say a 30-minute time frame. Those were your 4 time frames. You would have caught that gold buy using Neo. Do you understand? You would have caught that gold buy straight away. Do you get it? Because you had the daily support there as well. Are you able to replay that? Hold on a second. Yeah, it was one of them. You just got to double check flip. You can just match that to the variation. It doesn't really matter. I don't have to go over that. You can just literally check it yourself if you've got Neo, and then you can go check it against the variation. This is what NZDCAD was. Sorry, there was another question that was asked here. What am I able to replay? What this gold trade? Do you mean? Yeah. Sorry, just so I know what you're saying. When you say replay, what are you looking for? Oh, the support block. It won't do it because the candles jump. Remember, candles are not going to form like as they form live on replay it. So it's just going to appear. It might just close and be there, but it appears at the same time. People, kid you not. Look, see, it jumped. Right, it appears at the same time. You can go to any. Remember, in any day when the market opens, if you don't believe me, anybody that's got Neo, I'm not saying you don't believe me, but if you don't believe me, just go to anything, go through all of the pairs one by one, press the down button as if you've got them in your watch list, and you'll find a pair that's probably created one on that day. Do you understand? It literally does it. So it literally shows you. So it would appear, it doesn't appear after, it appears during. Do you get it? So literally as that was happening, boom, it was there. And if you go to the 4 weeks, you go to the 4-hour, yeah, let's see what's there in the pattern. So what day was that? That was here. Look here, boom. So you see, this is the day it appeared on the Monday. Boom, you had a W2 on the 4-hour as well. So you knew the W2 was going to form on the daily because you had a W2 on the 4-hour. Let's go to the 1-hour and see what happened. Boom, boom, boom. You had a W2 on the 1-hour as well that appeared. Yeah, do you see what I'm saying? Look, boom. So this is if you were even using the daily, the 4-hour, the 1-hour, and let's say the 30-minute. Let's go to the 30-minute and see what was there. And there you go. You even had a 30-minute entry here at 9 a.m. in the morning on the 30-minute for a W2. So even if you missed all of those, at 9 a.m. in the morning on that Monday, from the 30-minute entry, which would have been your main time frame. Remember, you would have a 30-minute on this big chart. You have a 1-hour here, 4-hour here, and a daily here. That would have been able to get you a trade set up. Do you get it? Yeah, but that's what I said. The dynamic support resistance is crazy. And I've got 6 months worth of data that I've learned from Neo on MT4. That's why I added it to this one. These songs are fire. But I was like, you've got to be able to use them in the right way. And that's why I added it here. Because I'm like, with the M's and W's and this, oh boy, it's game set match. Because you'll be able to pinpoint. For me, it was like, once price creates a new high on the monthly, eventually it's going to pull back on the weekly. You're going to be at some type of point in the M&W pattern on the weekly where you're going to have fresh meat. So it's going to say 1 bar on the monthly, 1 bar on the weekly as well. That's when the high or the low appeared. And then it's going to have that daily support and resistance. Bruv, the trade is going to sell or buy. I'm telling you. Yeah, no problem, mate. I told you what you need to do, Andrew, to get the one-on-one. Just do, remember what I said in the chat. Do that and then you get the one-on-one as well. You can sort that out. Because obviously these things take time, people. And I've spent a lot of time and a lot of money getting all of this done. This is why I'm charging for it, people. I spent a lot of time. This isn't like me on MT4. I just did this all myself. And I've had to be here whilst doing it. Do you get it? Wait a minute. So you know where that M2 is on the screen? Where's the resistance block? The resistance block's formed on this candle here. But this is a 30-minute chart. Remember what I just said to you. Don't use the support resistance on any time frame as an entry confirmation other than the daily. The daily is the strongest. I've got months of data on that. They are super strong. When they appear, they are very, very strong. So if it appears whilst you're about to take a trade or just before, or even if it appears after whilst you're in the trade, really and truly, it shouldn't be after. It should be either before or when you're about to trade on that day. Yeah, these zones are very good. Do you understand? Mhm. Yeah, bro, it's what everyone said. Everything's a process, people. I did and Neo on MT4 first. I told him I'm gonna eventually get on TradingView. But you just gotta give it time. It's like eventually making Neo automated. So that's why I said the people that stay in the subscription, the monthly, they invest, do all these things, it helps the process. You get it? Like it does help the process because I'm not a person that gets money from the trader in terms of subscription and that, and I don't use it to reinvest, I use it to reinvest. You understand? To make things better for everyone. So the more people that come and join Neo, the better it's gonna be. You understand? Like literally. Eventually I'll get Neo on my own website and I'm not gonna even use TradingView because I hate using third parties, man. When you start using third parties, they can come up with any rules. They can literally say, yeah, we're removing you from here. We don't want you on here no more. You're making too much money. But yeah, this is gold right now. That's the gold buy right there. And let's even do this as well better. So let's even show you. So let's go daily. Let's see where it was to make it better for us. 4 hour. So I'm changing all my charts now with just a click of a button. Yeah. And 1 hour. So now we're watching the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, and we're on a 30-minute time frame. Yeah. Let's go to where the support and resistance appeared. Okay, the support and resistance appeared there. Boom. And when did it? Yeah, so it appeared on this Monday. Boom. Just see what it says. So let's go here. Let's see when it gave us an entry. Let's just start from entry. Start from here. Let's see. Okay, boom. So we are on a high. So we gotta wait for these charts to change. We're waiting for the tables to change and line up. Let's just see what it gives us an entry. So I just didn't pinpoint one. So we're waiting for the daily and the 4 hour to get better. So you can see if you had a 4 hour chart, you would have had an entry from here. So maybe if you use the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 30-minute, and let's say the 15-minute, you would have had an entry from like here. But we're using the daily as well. So obviously it's a bit of a bigger time frame. So let's just see what happens. Let's just see when it does line up. Daily to line up. Boom, boom, boom. Let's try this one. Where's that daily gonna kick in? What day are we on? We're on Wednesday, and I'm still on Monday. Okay, that's fine. Oh yeah, we're on a 30-minute chart. I'm thinking we're on a daily time frame. Yeah, there, boom, sorry. So there, look, the daily, look here, boom, people. So the daily gave you a W2 here. Pretty much, what was it? It would have been market, close, and open. So here's where the daily would have appeared with a W2. And you can see the 4 hours giving you a W2 as well. We've got a low on the 1 hour and 30-minute, we had one here, yeah? We had one here. Oops. Okay. So we had one here. Let's see what happens if we entered here. Let's just do this and see what happens. We can see. So I just skipped it all the way to the end. Dun, dun, dun. There you go. Look at that, people. I can't make this stuff up. If your stop loss was at the low, you see this. You see this all live. Look, people, look. I just changed the 4 time frames. I just changed them. Like, yes, this isn't a live trade, but I'm saying you're seeing me back test it live, is what I'm trying to say. Like, yeah. And I changed the time. I've never used these time frames. I've never used these time frames, people. I've never used them, but it's the logic and the idea of 4. Do you get it? The only thing I didn't check there was how many bars ago it was. But again, that's because I don't use those time frames, what I said there. The data and the understanding of it can slightly change. But the idea, just using the pattern alone, the pattern of just the M's and W's alone, look at where it is. Do you get it? Would it be good to backtest this strategy with trading V5, playing model for its major pattern? Oh yeah, I know you would have done it, Brooke. I trust you. But we can't have no lazy traders out there. If you want to test, you have to test as well. But I'm on my thing. It's crazy. Yeah, I know, Brooke. I know, Brooke. It'd be crazy. Remember what I said at the beginning of the Zoom? If all 4 time frames linked together, it's crazy. It's crazy, people. What's that? Since the labels don't replay, I think it'd be consistent all throughout. What's that? Very replay mode on forex majors and minors on 4 hours. Since the labels don't replay, I think it would be more consistent all throughout. What's that? Would it be good to backtest this strategy on trading via replay mode on forex majors? Yeah, you can do it on anything, mate. You can do it on anything. It doesn't matter. You don't have to just do it on the 4 hour. You can do. Look, I'm showing you now. Do you understand? So look at it on the live chart first. That would be the correct one. Even if the labels look different. What I've noticed that can happen is that instead of a W2, it'd be like a W1 maybe on a replay. Do you get it? But it was still a W2 when it actually appeared live. I don't know why it does that on replay. Something I've got to figure out. Remember, I've only had Neo out there for 30 days, people. So obviously there could still be some bugs here and there. But even with it being buggy, it's still crazy. The way it's working is what I'm trying to tell you at the moment. Like, obviously, there'll still be more variations of Neo. But yeah, straight away, people, look, boom. There you go. So look, daily support and resistance appeared with Neo. Remember the indicator, you also get that. Then you saw that there was a daily W appearing, and then there was the 4 hour, 1 hour, and a 30-minute. You just waited for them to all come into line. It gave you an entry right here at 12:30 UK time. And if you just held that trade, you would have made how much money? And look, this is ridiculous, people. Like, if you were really wanted to be that greedy, every single time something like this appeared, yeah, you got in here, boom. Your stop loss was literally this big. Like, literally. Your stop loss was literally no more than like 24 pips. Let's call it that, 24, 25 pips. And this is scalping, people. This is scalping slash day trade. That was an 11R trade in like 12 hours. So that's a day trade, I would call that. That was a day trade right there. You get it. So a day trade you made, and remember that was just there. If you held it till today, which I still technically call a day trade, look, boom. That's a 15R trade, what I just shown you there, people, based on that simple confluence. Daily support and resistance, daily support, daily W2, 4 hour W2, 1 hour W1 hour, it was either W1 or W2, boom. 30-minute W2, it has to be a W2 on the entry time frame or M2. Do you get it? Boom. Trade entry, Bob's your uncle, all the way up. And this was even more, it went even higher. This was like a 17R trade, people. There. On the gold pullback buy. And remember, look, pay attention to what I'm telling you here, guys and girls. Remember this factor. This is where people are saying gold is going to buy now, gold is going to buy. No, with Neo, you wouldn't have bothered to look for the buy until you've seen this W2 or you knew this W2 was about to form here. Why? Because you waited. Look at the pattern. Look how many days you avoided getting trapped in this buy before it did it now. Look. So you'd only be looking for your buy around this area. Do you see it? And then when you go to the lower time frame, you'd be able to get it. This is when I start going to like a 12-hour chart, not 12 minutes. Yeah, 12 hours. So then I'll be looking. So when price was down here, look, it wasn't a W2 on the 12-hour and 2 here. Look at the entry it gave you down here. So now I can see, I'm like, okay, when's it going to form a W2 on the daily? I've gone to the half of the daily's time frame, which is 12-hour. Boom. Now I can see, oh, yeah, it's formed a W2 down here. So that means if it's done one W2 here, the daily one's coming in sooner or later. Boom. Now it's created the daily support here. And I've seen this as well on the daily. Did you get it? I've gone to the daily. I'm like, yeah, the daily W2 is definitely kicking in soon. I've seen that. I've gone to the remember, you can even split this in half. Go to the 6-hour chart. W2 here on the 6-hour, and this was the 12-hour one. Oh, we're giving up more. You see what I do? What I've learned now is split the daily into multipliers of 2. So then I'm like, oh, what on the 6-hour? Yeah, say no more. All right, let me go to the 3-hour chart. Oh, what we saying? Yeah, there's another W2 here on the 3-hour. There's one here as well. Yeah, so the daily is going to form a W2 definitely, because we can see from the daily is almost in play. The 12-hour has already done it. The 6-hour has already done it. The 3-hour, do you get it? And that's how I can even look at it to say the daily should be creating a W2 for me to get an earlier entry. Do you understand? But I'm in the right place now. Do you get? That's kind of what I did with NAS 100 and SPX. I just went into interval time frames. So I went into time frames of time frames. Because if they've done the move, then it's telling you that the water flow effect for it to go to the time frame you're waiting on is happening. This is how why trading view is better than MT4, because you can do this easier. You get it like boom. So yeah, that's the whole thing. Just to collect data to know what to expect in terms of equity coverage with that, yeah. But yeah, that's how you could have caught the gold buy. You all saw that. I never traded the gold buy because gold for me at the moment is what do you call it? Where is it? Let's go back here. Go back here. Let's close this. Go to my criteria. So we're gonna go back to the monthly. You see how quick I'm doing this? I'm just changing all my table time frames quickly. This is how beautiful it is. And I go back to the 4-hour. So gold right now is not in a trade setup for me because the monthly and the weekly structural is in 2 different ways. On the monthly, you can already tell 4 bars of monthly buys. That means the buy trend is weakening. This is why it even sold in the first place. From when I tell people you can enter it, because I've seen that 4 bars of monthly. By that time, I think it was 3 bars. If I'm right. It could have been 3, but 3 months in a row, candles have been bullish. They've been bullish. You understand? So it's getting weaker. Then when we come over to the weekly, 2 bars. Now we're in the second bar of the sell. That's happened. 2 of them have happened. Sorry, not in second. 2 of them have happened. So this would technically have been the 3rd week, but we're seeing a pullback right now. So that will change. So from next week, this will be a better setup. But the reason I won't still trade this, even though it's saying it's structurally on lower lows and that, is because the monthly needs to reset. This is why I did the bars ago. So I still wouldn't look for a gold buy because the monthly is still, it's in the transition stage of wanting to either continue to buy or wanting to reverse and start selling. I would rather wait for this to turn to a higher high, then back to a lower low, fresh meat where it says 1 bar ago. Then we see the lower low here 1 bar ago. And then what's gold going to do? What's gold going to do if that happens? If this turns to a lower low 1 bar ago and that weekly one turns to lower low 1 bar ago, what's going to happen, people? I'm trading the all throughout the year, people. The market is not slow in December and January. It's just an urban legend. I'm telling you, I saw the market do loads of pips in December last year. Pairs. It's not slow. You'll see it. If you've got Neo, and I'm not just saying that for the fact of it, you'll be able to find a pair that's going to move. The only time the market's slow is during a Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day, and New Year's Day. Just those 4 days. Every other day, the market's going to move normal. It's like an urban legend that people have that, yeah, it's going to move slow. No. Even in summer, there's plenty of money to be made. I'm telling you, you'll see it. I'll show you, guys and girls. It will happen. It's going to be, it's only those days because obviously those are key bank holiday days in a sense, you understand? But every other day, that's actually moves, man. It moves. Any other questions people have for this? So that's the trades that I took there. It's the same pattern. Same pattern, people. Rinse and repeat. If we go over to GBP CAD, now this was a good winning trade. Here. So you can see this one here. Boom. So this was like a, what's the reward on this trade? This was a free R trade. 3.29 hour trade. And you can see the same thing. Look, monthly, 1 bar ago. Weekly, 2 bars ago, because obviously we're in the second week now. But last week, it said 1 bar ago. What did John do? John gave you signal for sell. You understand? Simple. And then obviously this all lined up at the same time. Do you get it? So this is why I looked for the sell trade. So now, so I think there was another trader that was saying that they're looking at the sell on GBP CAD. But this is why I'm not trading GBP CAD specifically. You're in the second bar of the second week of the sell, and price action on the weekly is still bullish here. On the monthly, it's still bullish as well. Remember, I look at my weekly time frame as a go-to time frame because I'm swing trading. So I've got 2 high time frames, and I always use the second lowest time frame, or the second highest, should I say? Sorry, my bad. The second highest time frame is like a middle time frame for analysis. The weekly is not making sense for me to look for another sell entry in this trade. It doesn't match up because it's 2 bars ago and it's bullish here. So it's telling me that price action is still in a buy trend. So the chance of this trending, I'm not trying to catch the ultimate reversal trend. I made 3.2R in this. If every single time I find a trade like that, I'm able to make some type of profit, why am I trying to stress myself? All I have to do is wait for the next pair that does exactly how this looked last week. Yeah. At entry. Here, look at the dashboard now. If I can look for a pair like this every single week, fresh monthly, fresh weekly, high M, M2 on a daily, 1 bar ago. Look how ridiculous this was. Look how ridiculous the entry was, people. Look how ridiculous it was. Everything was 1 bar ago. This was so oily. It was unbelievably oily, this trade. Unbelievably. Unbelievably. Look at that. Do you understand? Why? That's why I gave the signal. Now we go here to the daily chart. What do we see up here? We see the resistance zone happened before as well. Ah, this was ridiculously oily. Yeah, there you go. Perfect trade setup. That's no worries, mate. No worries. This is a perfect trade setup here. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. We took that. Boom. Look, M2 on the daily as well. M2 on the daily as well. Oh, nasty. That's nasty, but we could have even entered this trade here. But the 4 hour might not have been in trend. But yeah, let's just say even from there, boom, get a 4 hour trade this time. Oh, beautiful. You get it. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You see it, guys and girls? That's what I'm talking about. This is how you're able to use Neo. But the reason why I'm not entering it now, again, what I just explained to you is because obviously I know it's still in an uptrend. So unless it's going to be doing its actual reversal, like you saw AU doing, EU doing, NU, all of those majors, they reversed and sold from like from last month going into this month. So from the start of October, they just reversed. Is it October? Yeah, in November. From the start of October, they just reversed and sold. Unless it's doing one of those moves, I'm not entering. But there's no need to panic because I made money from that quick little top bit there. Cool. And now if it is reversing, it's going to go through into a weekly downtrend with the EMA. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to catch it when it pulls back, and then I'm going to sell it. And what's it going to do? It's going to more than likely, when it gets there, it's going to be in a M or W pattern. Obviously, M, we need it to be M1 high or M2. It's going to more than likely be there between, remember this one here is already in a monthly. So this one will be like monthly 2 bars ago. That's what could happen. That's the only thing because we're coming to the end of November now. But remember, it's still a monthly chart. So that's cool. Then now here on the weekly, boom, what's going to start to happen now? We're going to see this pattern appear here again. And this is going to give me a new fresh weekly 1 bar ago high, M1 high or low. I'm just going to catch it. There's going to be a daily. The daily can match up in a week easily because every day it can create a new last label. The 4 hour can do it every 4 hours, a new last label. So it should catch up. And then boom, I'm just going to wait for the daily resistance zone to reappear here. When that weekly comes into play, I'm just going to take the sell trade to continue. It's telling me what's going to happen. It's literally telling me just wait, boom. Catch it here, boom, and take the trade. Simple. Now, why I might not hold the trade for long is because the monthly has been trending for 2 bars. We're in the second trend of this new month now. But it still can do the trade setup. It's not biggie. You understand? It's not biggie. Still give me 150 pips. That's cool. I can take that and run away. So that's all I'm waiting for on GBP CAD. I'm just waiting for it to break through on the weekly, pull back, be in the right pattern, create the right structure, and now it's going to be in the right trends for me to trade it, and yeah, boom, take the trade. Any other questions, people? Any other questions while we're here? Show them when the W2 and M2 appeared. W2 and M2 appearing. Show them when W2 and M2 on the same day. What time frame was that? What time frame was that book? Or USD, yeah? Or USD. This is what I do with my watch list, people. I have all the pairs in here. And I put them in alphabetical order as well. You see? I've got all the pairs. This is how I use them. So I can just go through them. And the market open, I just press the down button on the chart, on the main chart here. And I go through all the pairs. Oops. Do that. Do that. Early this month. Was it this one here? I'm trying to think. This was October. This was November. This was here. Is it this one, mate? This one we can see in front of us. October 1st. Okay. Oh yeah, you're talking about this one here. Yeah, this was ridiculous. Look at this as well, people. If I'm lying, I'm flying. This is what Book is talking about right now. Look at when it appeared up here. Boom. Look at when it appeared up here. The M2 on the daily. You see that? Mad thing. You're talking about that one book, basically, right there. So go back to the chat. You see it? Boom. Yeah? That's the one. Look at that M2 madness. Look at that sell. Don't ask me. Look at all the M2 entries. Look here. Here, if your stop loss was above here, look, that was entry number 2. This is the only one that would have put you in drawdown, but after, but remember, this was only because Trump got elected. That's why this ridiculousness happened here. And that's why I said market fluctuations are always going to change win rate. They're always going to change how a grade setup of one of the variations of the M to W is going to affect, because you can't, there's nothing, no indicator can predict that. It's market fluctuations. But look, yeah, same thing. Look, boom. You had 3 entries in this trade setup. Boom, you had one here, here, and here. In this trade setup. That's this one here. And then if you go to Euro USD, yeah, it also had the same thing. GBP CAD is going to do something like this if it keeps selling. And then what's John going to do? Signal, sell signal, signal, signal. You understand? I'll give you the sell trade signal. Can you guys and girls still hear me? Because it just said internet connection unstable. Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me, yeah? Yeah, what I said is this is exactly how GBP CAD will look in the future. You see what I said? The breakout, the pullback, just wait. The pullback will happen like this, and it will all line up again, and you sell continue. The resistance, you see, look what happened with the resistance. It told you to enter the sell trade from here, Neo. It told you. And look, this is how you could have even avoided this loss here with Neo, because there was no resistance. You would be able to tell because the arrows are there. Look, it formed here as well. The resistance. Look, this is mad. Look, the resistance formed here. That's why the arrow's there. And it also formed here as well. So even if you wait, by the day the entry had finished, the resistance formed, you could have got your entry in. So if you was scalp day trading, you would have got in somewhere here, and then you literally could have held this trade for almost 2 months. You understand? And made how many pips is this? Like, I'm telling you, there's no way if you're using this and you learn how to use this for 1 to 2 months, by the 2025, you're going to be making stupid money, people. That was a 400 pip trade. Like, I can't explain it enough. I don't understand why everyone's not jumping on it. I don't even know why people are hesitating. It makes no sense. Like, I'm literally kidding you. There's only 2 reasons why you're hesitating not to pay for Neo. One, you probably just don't have the financial means, which is fair. I don't expect everyone to just be some rich person or anything. or two, you just think it's another person trying to sell you some type of stupid indicator. Right? And I'm just laughing because I'm like, I'm telling you, everyone that joins this, but once they take 1 to 2 months to learn it, they're going to be laughing. I don't know how much more I can show people. Like, it's literally telling you when to enter the trade, and that's what we all are looking for. But when do I enter? Neo shows you. What else? Once you learn it, you can see it. It tells you. So again, GBP CAD, I don't have to touch until it sets up. And there you go. Boom, boom, boom. I'm a snake oil watcher. Very, very early, mate. So yeah, but you can see it straight away, people. So that's that one. Look at this one. And then the last one I'm gonna show you is the trend candles after. In fact, let me even show you the trend candles now. Look, boom, so you can see it here. So I think I'm still playing with it here. Let's go here. So you can see the trend candles, I'm trying to make them multi-time frame at the moment. You can see I'm still playing with it. So you can see basically you're going to be able to see a 1 month trend, or you can change it to whatever you want, obviously, however you trade. But you know me, monthly going down, monthly, weekly, boom, let's go here. Let's go 4 hour. I don't think this is the right code set up. Hold on. 4 hour, no daily. Because before I fell asleep, I was trying to get it finished coding, and then I fell asleep, man. I was like, boy, guys and girls, you're gonna have to wait. I'm tired, man. I'm doing a lot of smoke, as you can see. Yeah, we're doing a lot of smoke. Yeah, this isn't the right one I can see here. So give me 1 second, people. 1 second. Stop. Give me a second. I'm gonna reshare the screen in a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Should be this one here before. Should be this one. I don't think this will have the 3 time frames, but yeah, let me just check. Okay, this one still does have it. All right, cool. Yeah, give me a second. Let me double check this. I'm still trying to make Neo even more oily. Like, I don't want no one to have an excuse not to be able to make money. That's why I'm trying to do this. Like, no one's got an excuse. Yeah, this one should be it. All right, come, let's reshare my screen now. All right, you can see this, people. Yeah. All right, cool. So now what we can see here is obviously, like I said, I'm still editing this. Let me turn off this for a second, just so you can see it now. And turn off this. Cool. So this is the trend candles that I'm making on Neo. And basically with these trend candles, what they do is they show you when it's basically working on this bar since last high, low. I'm trying to work on this so you can kind of see it on any time frame you're looking at. And what we can see here, let's just remove these drawings quickly. You can see here, this monthly candle closed here, because you can see this is the last day of the month. So that's already told you, because the monthly time frame is my first time frame in the settings. Now, and the colors, this color here, this like pinkish red color, is telling me the monthly time frame's closed. Now, after the monthly time frame's closed, now what happens is it kicks in to tell you, obviously you can see from the colors because it's trend colors. This is telling you that, okay, yeah, boom, boom, boom. The weekly had now closed bearish as well. So that's telling you that, hey, the next week is more than likely going to continue a sell as well, which is what you can see. This is the bearish color. If I show you here, look, you can see that the monthly is the reddish color and the bearish one, which these candles here would have been orange, yeah? Because it's telling you that. Yeah. You can see the second one, the bearish one, is the weekly time frame. So what did we have? What I tried to explain to you. We had a monthly higher high formed here. And now with this weekly bearish close, that means that the next week could give you a weekly bearish lower high, because the weekly chart and this monthly chart as well closed bearish. This is why we see this move happening here. Now, for me, this wasn't a great setup because what I needed it to do is once it creates obviously a move in one direction, you want it to pull back and then give you the trade setup after. Example of this is what I'm trying to show you here. Is what I was trying to do. Go over to Euro USD, which was the better one. That's why I never gave out these signals, because only Euro USD was the trade. But the way they were trending, you can see it on the right of the screen where it says here, the weekly time frame, it was trending mad. So it wasn't 1-1. By the time it gave you an entry, the weekly was like 4 bars ago. So I was like, whoa, on some of these major pairs. And it did it with the other ones as well. USD-CAD and that just did a mad move, obviously because of the elections, the build up to it. So that's the only reason I never gave the signal, because it was just too long ago before it gave the entry. I was like, what the hell? But yeah, here, Euro USD was a bit better because it reset. So look here, the monthly closed here. Boom. So then load up. Right one. Boom, 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 boom. I see. Oh yeah, here, yeah, boom. This is it. Yeah. So look, the monthly closed here. And again, remember, I'm still trying to play with this. This isn't the end of it. I'm still trying to make it even look better, so it doesn't even look as confusing in a sense. But the weekly color for the close was here. You see? So that's already told you that, okay, the monthly is closed bearish. The weekly is closed bearish. So we know that we've got a monthly trend. Obviously, you can see it pulled back a bit and then it went weekly bearish as well. Boom. And this is why you can even see this one says 2 bars ago. It's the only one out of the majors that actually was. This one in USDCHF, I believe it was one that was a bit more better. And USDJPY reset itself, which was good as well. It actually did it, sorry. But you can see here. And then what happened here? From lying and flying people, look here, boom, boom, boom. Switch on the neo-dynamic support and resistance. Switch on the M&Ws. And then what do we have here? Coming into this week, on the daily, what was we here? We was in an M1 closed on the Friday already straight away for the trade setup, yeah? M1, look, even after the M2, you see price action selling. It closed on the M2 yesterday and it sold. This is why I told people in the VIP group that it can sell again. Euro USD, see it's selling already. But look, so obviously it closed on the Friday with the M. We already know that it's monthly bearish. Weekly, it's gone to a weekly bearish setup as well. So in this week here, we was just looking for a sell trade setup. If we go to, let's do this. So we can see this. Let's start from here. Boom. Let's just draw this box. Obviously, I haven't made this indicator MTF. Let's go here. Just draw that there so we know that's there. Let's go here to the 4-hour. Go here on the 4-hour chart. Boom. And look, even on the 4-hour, it's telling you that, yeah, look for bearish setups. Look here. At 2 a.m. in the morning, we had an M1 on the 4-hour. Cool, that's fine. But then we know that here on the 4-hour, we had an M2. And look, you can even see this is showing you the daily bearish color right now. So what it does is basically it goes in a water flow. It's basically trying to show you that you'll see a monthly trend. Then you want it to now go into the weekly trend, which is here. So it's told you, hey, it closed weekly bearish, yeah? So remember, we already know it closed monthly here. It closed monthly. It's basically this week. I'm still working on the candle trend continuation. Just you've got to bear with me. Yeah, but basically it showed you because of this color that monthly is bearish. Then it showed you here that it was weekly bearish as well. So it created a lower high after the monthly higher high. Yeah. Then now you can even see this purple color is the daily bearish color as well. And then what was it? It was purple whilst it created this M2 on the daily. So you can see the water flow effect happening. It's gone from bearish on the monthly to bearish on the weekly, and now it's bearish on the daily, and you hit the strike button, you entered right there. Obviously, a daily and on the 4-hour, it's bearish as well, as you can see. I haven't added the 4th time frame to the trending candle indicator yet, but look, boom. So if this was a 4th color that I've added now, this would be a different color from here, basically from at some point here, basically is what I'm trying to tell you. And then boom, you can see this was obviously a sell trade that week, which you would have entered there. Stop loss would have been above. And that was like, this was probably a 1 to 10 hour trade. Let's just see it quickly, people. All based on just being patient. Too many people were trying to even catch the top. You didn't need to, because I've just shown you here the breakdown of it. But just waiting. This is exactly what I'm going to do with GBP CAD if the setup appears. Boom. So you had like a 18 to 20 pip stop loss. And this was a 7 to 8 hour trade. Done. Like, why do you need to be impatient if all you have to do is just wait for this beauty to unfold? That's it. Literally. Why not sell in 50% of the, when you're saying 50%, are you talking about Fibonacci's? Because you said 50%. So you're talking about here. Are you talking about Fibonacci's? When you say 50%, you say 50%. Are you saying 50% of this box here? Is what you're trying to say? Because you don't need to do all of that. If you want to, that's up to you. If you want to start trading 50% boxes and 50% Fibonacci's, and that's all up to you. But I'm showing you that you don't need to do that. Because if you just follow exactly what Neo's telling you, you still got a 7.7R trade. 7R. If you were trading 1% per risk to reward, that was an 8.3R. If you were trading this as a 1% trade, so imagine you had $100,000 account, yeah, and then you lost. You were willing to lose 1,000 on that account. Maybe you got 4% drawdown max. But let's be realistic. You were willing to lose $500, but you wanted to make how much from this? You would have been able to make $4,000 from this trade by losing 500 or making 4,000. Do you get it? You could do those type of setups. Again, I don't trade like that because I'm trading so much capital. People, it's pressure. If I'm trading 5 million worth of accounts, I don't want to be in $250,000 drawdown. Do you know what that does to the human brain? And you know it's not your capital as well. You know what it does a lot to the human brain. You understand? Whilst I'm trying to do all this coding, whilst I've got family to look after, whilst I've got other business ventures to do, people, it's a lot. That's why I trade with smaller risk. I'm not trying to give myself a stroke before a certain age, you know. I'm still looking fresh, no gray hairs on my head. My hairline's still intact as well. I'm looking like I'm still 20 years old. My hairline, like I'm good. No one's stressed. Everyone's stressed. Stop stalking me, book. Stop stalking me. But you get it, people. That is the whole point of what I'm trying to say there. Yeah? Okay. That is the whole point of what I'm trying to say, people. Okay? It's like, just keep it simple, guys and girls, is what I'm trying to tell you. It's simple. Just wait for it to line up. Is there any other questions? Can we leave it there? The next, obviously, up there I'm doing is the train candles. What I would ideally want the train candles to do, yeah. Boom, boom, boom. It's no problem. Andrew, I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you to be ready. I told you already. I told you, Andrew. I said, come on. Get ready. Get ready, Andrew. Like, there's no way you won't. No, you can change it on what you can change it to whatever time frame you want, mate. You can change it in the settings. Sure. You can change it to whatever time frames you want. You see? But as we know, based on the M&W pattern, the 4 time frame confluence works. So that's why I'm trying to make everything a 4 time frame confluence. So we can see exactly whatever we want to on 4 time frames all the time. It doesn't matter. So even if I wanted to use a Fibonacci now, I'll make an indicator that is Fibonacci for the 4 time frames. And obviously you can choose what 4 time frames you want, because we've seen that there's a weird consistency of a pattern and winning trades when you just put 4 time frames together. Do you get it? So imagine if Fibonacci on 4 time frames all got to the 50% for a reversal sell trade or a reversal buy trade. Do you get it? The 4 time frames is what's a key thing here. So yeah, I'm just trying to do it. But what I'm trying to ideally get is, if you do this, can't do it on this one, but I think you can do it on this one here. I can switch them on and off. Yeah. That's why you see on this one, I've added it so you can switch on and off time frames. Try and play with it. But yeah, what I'm really trying to do is this one here. Is this one. So I'm trying to get more trending setups. So it looks more coherent, if that makes sense. So basically it'll be like imagine it's like the monthly trend is all the candles going down, not just one candle on the chart, it's like all the candles. And then it goes into, I want it to only show if the monthly, or basically is whenever the monthly is like bearish or bullish. I'm just giving you my example. Remember, you can put any time frame you want. Yeah, I'm just saying my example. So imagine the monthly is bearish or bullish, then it doesn't show the buy setup because we know we're in a monthly downtrend. Then it doesn't show trend candles. There'll be like a neutral color, probably gray. Yeah, and then imagine it's sold here again. So then the monthly is bearish, boom. It shows gray candles here. Then the weekly goes bearish, great, yeah, boom, yeah. Now, then I wanted to possibly do the daily, only the bearish side of the daily in that week. So imagine there'll be like monthly colored candles, gray candles, weekly colored candles, then it'll be like daily gray candles. Then it will be bearish candles. So you'll literally see the pattern forming. Do you get it? That's what I'm trying to do. So you'd see the pattern going down bearish. Then it will be gray here. Yeah. Then it will be red here again. Then it will go gray here again on a daily, and then it'll go red here. And this way, with the M's and W's with sync, you're going to be able to see that here is where you want to strike. You see? Everything is to get you into a position where you're going to be like, oh, now I need to strike. You understand? I'm saying once I got that and then I put it on the chart and I show you guys and girls, you're gonna be like, whoa. You're gonna be like, whoa. I'll be like, trust me, I know what I'm doing, trust me. So that should stop people from entering trades they don't need to enter. Do you understand? Well, and that's it. But hey, that's it. Any other questions, guys and girls? I gotta leave it there because the Zoom's getting very long. Okay, cool. All right, cool, guys and girls. All right, I'm gonna leave it there anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna love you and leave you. So, because I'm gonna upload this soon. But yeah, if anybody wants to purchase Neo, please let me know. Pardon me again, it's 50 GBP for the month. If you want to do monthly just to see how it is, that's all right, book. It's 400 GBP for the year if you want to get a yearly one, and it is 600 GBP for lifetime access, which again, most lifetime access people have managed to get their money back within the first month. I kid you not, a lot of them have. Do you understand? Not all of them, don't get me wrong, but a lot of them have. So because they've either taken the signals I've given or they've just traded it themselves and made the money. The funniest one is the gentleman that paid 50 GBP and made $4,000. And he's been so quiet lately because I'm sure he's enjoying his $4,000 that he just made in the market. Do you get it? Yeah, NZDCAD is melting. It's melting. Melting, people. Oh, these indices need to melt already. But yeah, all right then. Cool, people. I'm gonna leave it there. So I love and leave you. Thank you very much for your time and take care.